You're listening to The Kelly Slusher Show with your host, Kelly Slusher.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me again for my podcast, episode 94. I'm just going to pop on and do a real quick podcast because I got the time. Do I have the time? I kind of have the time. It's kind of chaos. The other day, I decided I was going to no longer pay for a storage unit since things are changing in my life, like pretty much tomorrow I'm going to be doing an orientation for my little commercial kitchen. It's not a little commercial kitchen, my big commercial kitchen. And so, I've been thinking about that thing of like, where am I spending money that I don't need to be spending money? And I'm like, my storage unit. It's so stupid. Like, I've literally been paying money to ignore this problem. Part of it was because I don't have the really hard job anymore, but when I was working at the bakery, I was so exhausted. The last thing I wanted to do was go through my stuff. So the other day, I just go to my storage unit, and then I just put everything I had to take 2 loads of from my truck, 2 loads of just crap. And it's like boxes. It's like, it's like things that I didn't throw away. And when I moved to Arizona in 2022, briefly, I got rid of everything that I possibly didn't need, kept all the important things and put those in storage. But because I was kind of in this rush to get out of the place I was living, I just kind of threw all the rest of the crap that I didn't go through, just like papers and old clothes and just memorabilia, just stuff, just stuff. Why do we have to have so much stuff? It's crazy. So, and then I just took all of it and then just met like a crazy, I'm just doing this. So I just grab everything, just put it in my yard. So now in my yard, there's a stack of crap. And I'm like, okay, I got to go through this and then I'm going to go to the dump. But it gives me crazy anxiety to see it. It's summer, so it's not going to rain right now. So it's a perfect time to do it. But it's also a high anxiety because I have so many other things to do. And I look at that pile and I'm like, the pile. So anyway, I just put together this old drum set. I'm going to go sell it online for $100. And I don't want to deal with the questions because people are going to be like, oh, is it playable? Yeah, but you're going to need all these. I'm like, I'm not even going to tell them. Let's say, buy it or don't buy it. Look at the pictures. The shells are what you want. It comes with I'm selling it with a crash cymbal with a nice stand and it has a really nice snare with a nice snare stand. So I don't need 2 drum sets. And this is just another thing. My tiny house is spilling out and I'm not a hoarder in a way. I feel I'm kind of questioning right now. Am I a hoarder? Because I'm why do I have all this crap? But it's just like any place. If you've lived in a place for a long time, you don't have to think about all that extra stuff. You might have things in boxes or whatever, but when you move, you got to get rid of it. And so if you haven't moved for a long time, it's a nightmare, when you're oh my gosh, I got this and this. And so that is what, I think I was living in that place for 4 years. And then I quickly needed to move to Arizona because my dad was he had broke his hip the second time and he had dementia. And so I was I don't have very much time. So I just literally throw it in the storage unit and I'll deal with it later. But that was 2022. 4 years later, I'm dealing with it. So that, and then I'm finding some cool stuff. I'm oh, this. But you know what? Barely am I finding anything that I was happy that I was paying that much money. Because it was $125 a month. I'm stupid. And I'm no, we're not doing this anymore. Anyway, so that's my life right now. And then I was outside. So it's it's morning. It's 8 or 9 in the morning. It's 9. So I wanted to do this early because I only have a limited amount of time before it gets too hot for me to be out there in the sun just looking through the stuff. So I just kind of do it in the morning. My neighbor, I've talked about this before. My neighbor, I live in the woods. I technically live in the woods. He has to put his stupid alarm on his truck and it goes off, and it just went off this morning. It was 8:30 in the morning. I'm I want to yell. I want to just yell at this guy and say, you don't need a stupid alarm. No one's going to steal your stupid truck. Most people probably keep their doors unlocked. I don't do that, and I don't think that's a good idea because you never know. but it's one of those neighborhoods. It's really chill. And he has to have his done. But it goes off. Like, fine, if you want to have your alarm, but I'm sure a squirrel's setting your alarm off, you know? And then someone smokes. And it's so annoying because it's like, I'm not a smoker. And so, you know, non-smokers, we know what we're talking about. I know people smoke. I know people who smoke. I'm not dissing you. But for non-smokers, it's just not a pleasant smell, especially when it's like a distant thing and it's kind of like creeping into my nice peaceful, because I mean, I'm in the freaking woods. Can I at least have some fresh air? And so my landmate, she mentioned it the other day too. She's like, is there someone that smokes? I'm like, it must be a neighbor. It's obviously a neighbor. And anyway, so then I got frustrated. I'm like, I'm just going to go do my podcast. Okay, this is so silly because it's chaos and things are just chaos. It's too many things that happen at once, and I don't like that at all. Like, because I have like all this stuff I need to go through. So with like the surrounding environment is chaos, which I really need to resolve this as quickly as possible. And then I've got an event, my first event that I'm doing on Sunday, the 30th, and it's a pancake breakfast. I'm going to just have a little booth. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to be selling. And then, anyway, there's just a lot that goes involved. And I'm going to do my orientation on this week for the kitchen. And there's just a lot to think about. There's just chaos. And I'm trying to be cool in the chaos. Like, doing this podcast helps me get a little bit more grounded because I love doing it. And I always have something to tell you. So, last night I came home. I was working at the rock shop. I came home. It was late and the kitchen light wasn't on, but like surrounding like I live in a tiny house. So like my bedroom light was on, and that was like, that can be enough light because I don't like overhead, like, Anyway, I had the kitchen light was not on. It was just kind of dim in the kitchen. And I had this tumbler and, I looked in there. I was like, no way, there's ice still in here. Awesome. So I'm just going to put some water in here and drink because I love ice water. So I was like, rad. I'm surprised that hasn't melted. I don't even remember putting this ice in here. So I'm like put some water in there and I take a drink, and it didn't have enough time, I guess, for the water for me to recognize what was going on. So then I put set the drink down, go do some things, come back. And I was like, I want some water. So I went to drink it. And I was like, this isn't very cold for ice. And I looked in there. It wasn't ice. It was a sock. It was a gray sock, like the half socks, the kind, I don't know what I call them, the kind that you wear and you can't see them. So they're like ankle socks. And it was a gray one. And it looked like the way it was like, because it was a really tall, like one of those tumbler glass or metal cups. And so like, it looked from like the dim light, it just looked like a pile of ice, because I always have, ice. And so I was like, oh, that's so disgusting. So then like I pull the sock out and it's like dripping wet with water. I'm like, this is my life right now. So then like I look at the sock, I'm like, what's on that sock? And it looked like, and I remember there was something that I needed, maybe a spilled something. I don't know. It must have, because it had come from my truck and I must have taken my socks off. Anyway, it was a dirty sock. And I'm like, this is so disgusting. And I'm like looking at it and I'm like, that's not a clean sock. Anyway, so then I had a little panic. I'm like, what was on that? I hope it's just, I don't know. Anyway, so I just drank a bunch of water hoping I didn't like poison myself. It's so dumb. I was like, I'm going to talk about it on my podcast because I think that's ridiculous. But it's just like, everything. It's too many things in a small house, and I don't like that. And so I'm trying to organize it. I'm hoping before the end of the year, if that doesn't happen, that I'll be moving to a bigger place. But priorities have been my business and getting that up and running. So I haven't really put the priority in other places, but I think it's gonna just happen. Like, I have to find a place first and, like it and all that stuff and move and blah, blah, blah. And that's not easy. Anyway, what else? Why do we have so much stuff? stuff just trips me out because it's just so many things, so much stuff. And like hoarders, I don't like the hoardy thing. I didn't take any notes. I'm looking at my notes. I didn't take any fresh notes. I found a bunch of Crash and Britany 7 inches, which was cool. And then I found a Crash and Britany, my old band Crash and Britany, and then found a Crash and Britany 12 inch. That minimal, like the 12 inch was not, there was only maybe 500, I'm going to guess at how many we pressed, but we all silk screened them. It's like a silk screen. And it's a great album. I really like this album. This one is not out in the world. I think you can take albums and have them made into, just because this is the only thing I have. I'm hoping it's gonna, I actually don't have a record player up in this little house. There's no way. I had to get rid of all my records. I had to get rid of record players, records when I was moving, because I moved all the way. I've just moved so much that the last thing you move, you don't have records. Those, like, they're the heaviest thing. So sadly, I don't have that, but I have friends who have record players, but I need to go take it and just listen to it. Well, I do have a record player. I don't know. I got it out of storage and I'm like, I don't know. You need all the things and yeah. I'm just going to, I'm going to grab that app, that record player app, but I'll take it to some friends and see. Anyway, if it is, I'm going to turn it into MP3s or waves and upload them. And I'm getting ready to I keep saying this, I need to put Crash and Britany up on streaming services, which I've never done. And so that's kind of a block. That's some mental block I have. But this new band that I have has some of the Crash and Britany elements to it because I was in Crash and Britany. My bandmates were Crash and Britany fans. The couple, Jake and Andrea, the drummer and the guitar player, are married for years and years. And they were in a band called Stratford 4. And then we have a bass player, Neil. But the couple, they used to go to Crash and Britany shows. So they were fans of Crash and Britany, which is great because they understand like where I'm coming from. We all have like this musical understanding. And, but because Crash and Britany, I was in a relationship with the drummer for years. And so we were together before the band, but we were together. We met when we were playing together. So we always played together. So it wasn't like an afterthought. We always played music, but we ended up going out. But when that crashed down, I wanted nothing to do with the band because it had an emotional thing to it. And now that I don't care. I have no emotions about it anymore. I can like look at it objectively and see it. So what I really love about this band is there's nothing like that. We're all friends. Like they're both of them, everyone's married. Me, Fifth Wheel. When I hang out with all them, like Fifth Wheel. Like sometimes it's really cute. Like we practice in this really beautiful house, Neil's house, him and his wife Leslie. This beautiful 4-story house, and it sets upon this park. It's really cool. And nice room that we play in, and nice studio. And one thing that's like when we have shows, so when we played last weekend, we had to lug these things down 4 flights of stairs, and I was like, well, this is why I hate being in a band. This is the only reason why. Lugging. I don't hate being in a band, but this, like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is what I didn't like about being in a band. I should say it that way. Okay. Oh, the lugging. Everyone thinks bands are so, it's so sexy. It's so, oh yeah, bands. You're in a band, blah. But you don't see that side. You don't see, like, most people don't see the lugging side. They don't see the hard, like, after the show having to pack up, unless you, like, have a roadie and you're on another level or you have friends that help you. There's that. And then, like, the long hours when you go to record, how hard and tedious that can be, at least for me, to sit still. And sometimes that can be, that's not very sexy. The waiting, the recording and all that stuff. And so-and-so's got to put his part down, put their part down, and, do backing track, whatever it is. And so there's just things that just are, tedious, I should say. Like the unsexy things, Anyway, but it's part of it. But it's kind of cool because Leslie has been doing this thing recently where we get little break time and she like makes us cookies. And so we'll like, Neil's like, oh, Leslie made us some snacks or some cookies. Oh, and then we'll go down and we'll like eat some snacks. Or sometimes she'll bring it up to us and we'll stop and eat it like cookies. And it's just amazing. I'm like, you're like Mom. Mom brought us snacks. Or like preschool. I'm like, can we have nap time too? When are we going to have nap time? It's really cool. One time recently for band practice, is that what we were doing? I can't remember, but she made us snacks, like meal, like an actual British style, because they're both British. And so everything they do is British. That's how they learn to exist. They're British. Cook and bake, or everything she does is mainly British. So I get to experience the certain things they eat. They like a lot of spicy and starchy stuff, I've noticed. But so fun. And then one time, a few weeks ago, this before we played our show, the guitar player, Jake, was trying to work out a part on one of the songs that I had written and that I brought in. The coolest thing about my band is we all bring in songs. And so that makes, like someone said at the show, they're like, it's kind of interesting because every one of your songs, it's like the same band, but they're all different. They sound different from each other. I'm like, yeah, I really wanted that. But so we all bring songs in. Anyway, so he was still trying to work out one part in one of these songs. And so we're playing it. And then I heard like an off note. And we're very, like, as a band, we're very supportive of each other. So we don't like to, like, I don't want to criticize. I don't think they want to criticize. So we just, like, I think we're kind to, we care, we're really nice. It's like one of the nicest bands I've ever been in. Knock on wood. Everyone's been so nice. And so I just wanted to, like, okay, so we, like, played it. And I was like, there's one note in that chorus part that just doesn't seem to match what I'm doing. And so he's like, oh, okay. So he's working it out. And that's just how we write. Like, he's always, and I love what Jake does. Like, he's brilliant with his guitar and his sounds and stuff. So he's always doing like more unique stuff instead of being straightforward. So whatever chords he's playing was just one little teeny note that wasn't fitting. And so I'm like, okay. And then before we know it, we're up there doing that. And then we hear like Leslie, she comes up the steps because she usually hangs downstairs in the kitchen or whatever. She comes up, which she never does. And there's this like bed that's in the back corner. So she probably like, it has like it's a big space. It's like the attic is as big as the entire house. So, that's enough for like a little living room area. And there's like enough for like in the front, there's for a bed and there's this huge practice space. So she just comes up and I'm like, oh, it's Leslie. And so she's like she decides to go make the bed. And she goes, oh, by the way, the way you were playing that song last week, I really thought that sounded better. And we're like, what? Oh, so what I thought she was saying is that she liked this. For some reason, I thought she liked what was going on. And I was like, but what? Okay, afterwards, I realized what was happening is she could hear that off note. So she comes up with her, like, she goes, because she probably had to make the bed anyway. She's like, I'm going to go make that bed right now. And I'm going to just maybe make a comment that something's off. And I loved that. I thought that was so adorable. Like, oh, and she's got the British. I wish I could do a British accent, her British accent. And the British humor that comes out of, she's so funny too. And so, she does that. And I was like, that's weird. So it took me a while to kind of figure out what's going on. Like, oh, she's letting us know that there was an off note. I love that. So, but we worked it out, of course, because it's just the way we write, the way we play. Like I bring in, like I'm working on another bass song that I just wrote. I'm bringing that in, and then we'll like work with it at home, and then we come to practice and we bring in what we do. And so it's cool. It's always like a pleasant surprise. Like when I write something, because I'll hear it and I'm like, oh, here, this is how I think the song's going to be. And by the time the bass player and then the guitar player bring in their parts, and the drummer, of course, Andrea, she also helps with songwriting, and she's a great drummer. And so she makes it another thing too. So by the time they take the songs, it turns into something I would have never imagined. And then sometimes from that, I hear melodies in that I would have never thought. And because of the way it's very sonic, I would say that what we do, I don't know another word for it, but it has a sonic sound. So like with that, I can hear things within that. So once we write it, it's really cool. But yeah, that was really cute. What else? Well, I'm surrounding in chaos. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to sell for my little, so last week I was telling you, I was waiting on the phone call from the county. I finally get the phone call, and the lady, and this was hard for me because the lady from the county was having a hard time issuing me my permit because what I realized, what she said is she doesn't understand what I'm doing, my operation. And I'm like, so I had to be like really, really sweet with her. Like just, like I thought I was being fake, but I was a little over the top with like, I just have this little bakery. It's just a little, like, it's just like, I'm like, I had to explain the whole thing. And I'm like, what in the world? Like because they have you send your menu to them, and I gave them everything that I was going to be doing, but what I should have probably said, like, no, I'm not doing this all the time. Just so you know, this is what the basic scope of what I'll be doing throughout the time, I'm doing this for now. And she's like, well, and so she had the thing is she has a problem with the lady who, with the kitchen owner, manager, commercial kitchen. And then that lady has a problem with the county. So they had like pre-existing strife, which I already knew was there. But so the lady from the county is kind of telling me things about her, the lady that I'm renting from, and she doesn't really know everything. And oh my gosh. And then the lady I'm renting from is telling me stuff about the county. So I'm trying to stay neutral. And then I said something like, I'm just trying to do this. And the lady from the county was like, no, I understand. But she's like, well, she gets things wrong. And I don't even know if this is the right permit. And I said, oh, well, if you remember a few months ago, I emailed you asking you what permits I needed. Oh, and then she was like, oh, yes, I do remember you. I'm like, I'm not trying to pull one over. I'm actually trying to go through the legal way so I could sell. Like, I'm not, how many people don't do this? This is why. You want to know why people ignore you and just do what they want to do? Because you're getting like this, And so she finally was like, okay, because she's like, we need to inspect the kitchen. I was like, which is, I told you guys, she never has to do anything like that. But because she was questioning me, doubting my operation, having a problem with that lady, making it difficult just to sell my sweetie bakester. So she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand. I don't know how you can't understand someone wants to do a little micro bakery. I think what I should have told her, what she didn't understand is why didn't I just do it through my own kitchen? And I should have explained that to her. Like, well, I can't. For one, it's tiny. Two, there's reasons I couldn't tell them, but I'm just going to say my landlord said no. You have to get their permission. Besides, they ask for so much from the landowners. Like, we need a blueprint of, not everyone has all that. So they make it hard, is what I'm trying to say. That's why a lot of people don't even bother getting permits. But you can't vend at events. You can't do farmers markets that have their permit because they're going to ask for your permit. So unless it's a pop-up and they don't know about it. And then I did say something about doing pop-ups. Ladies like, pop-ups? You can't do pop-ups. You know what she reminded me of? I mean, she didn't be, okay, before I say this, she finally said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and issue this permit without an inspection, because she heard me explain to her what this was. I'm like, it's a small thing. I want to, once it grows, she goes, well, once anything changes, you need to contact us. I'm like, yeah, totally. And then she had 2 conditions of what she needed, which was doable. And then, but it kind of reminded me of the Wicked Witch of the West. I think it is, like in Wizard of Oz, like, well, what is it that you want to do? Because I'm like, if you know anything about what I'm doing and if you go online, just look at what I'm doing. It's Sweetie Bakester. It's like sweet. And that's the whole thing behind it, because I understand that, like I'm making it it's just nice. It's just pleasant. It's sweet. It's, it's comforting. It's cozy. It's not like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm not like serving up. I'm not even doing, there's nothing that you'll see that I do that's against regulations. Besides, I already have like this certificate that I went through. It was hard to get this training. Like and I got my DBA, like all these things that I have done to get to this point. It's not like a willy-nilly thing. And if she just did her research, if she goes to my website, she can just see. But like, I don't know. It's like I have to have a problem with this. And it's like, it's just baked goods. Okay. You can look at it as like a glorified bake sale, whatever. But she just couldn't understand why I'm renting the kitchen for something like this. And I'm like, what? Wait. I know. So I'm the only baker at that kitchen, which is a plus. But I don't know. I feel like I'm moving in the right direction, but it was disheartening to be having to basically like, please give me my permit so I could sell cookies and cupcakes and, low risk things. It's not like I'm asking to sell like puddings. I mean, there's things like, like cream pies. You don't do things like that and sell them at farmer's market because unless you have a refrigerator, like I understand that. So she just made it, I don't know. Anyway, there's still another permit I have to get from her. And then I want to do some other things. So I got to get more permits. So I really need her on my side, but it's crazy to just think that like, you just want to do something and why would they make it this hard? And, I don't know. It's like pop-up. She's like, oh, you can't do pop-ups. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I thought that'd be cool. I'm like, I see pop-ups. I see bakery pop-ups. I see stuff like that. That's not a thing. I guess you have to do that without them knowing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe a private party or whatever, but I just wanted to play by the rules and anyway, it's fine. I still haven't received my permit from her yet, but she wants a photo of my little dry storage space that has my name on it. So I have to do that, once I get in the kitchen. Anyway, I just get like, I don't know, it's that like, anxious, a little anxious. Cause okay, this is new territory for me, like I've never done this before. And, I'm just trying to do this thing and it's good. It's gotta be good. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say. Had a little bit of time. I don't have any jokes besides the sock thing. Not a joke, but it's like, wow. This picture of my dad keeps appearing like, I don't know. It's just my dad sitting at a table. And when he was like probably in his 20s, late 20s. No, he must have been 30s. He was looking all cool, but it keeps falling. Like I keep seeing it and I'm like, okay, my dad's with me. Because my dad, he passed away 2 years ago, but he knew that I was starting this and I would bake for him. He liked chocolates. When I was visiting, I just baked a lot for my dad. I made like cakes. I made him all kinds of stuff. And then one time I was like, Dad, do you want some cream puffs? He's like, oh yeah, cream puffs. That sounds amazing. And I was like, okay. So I had never made pâte à choux. So I just looked at the recipe. And so I was like, oh, this is easy. Well, it is super, super easy. But if you don't realize the steps. So I was in the kitchen and didn't realize that like, there's things like I missed like a couple of the steps and it was like the choux paste was cooking and I was like, oh no, I have to do this. And then I got to get the eggs and then I got to do this. And then my dad's like, and he saw me like freaking out. He's like, well, if I knew that you were going to, get this just crazy about it. I don't think I need those cream puffs. Just every time I make pâte à choux, I think about that. And I'm like, my dad's like, oh no, it's okay. I really don't think I need those cream puffs. I was like, no, it's just that it's like, I didn't know I had to do this and this before this. And then that's not where, it's just, mêler and play. I think is how you say it. It's like a French term that I say to myself before you start baking, mêler and play. I don't know if I'm saying that right. but I say me l'emple, which means have everything ready. Always have all the things that you need before you start baking. And that's always like a little rule. And then, have all your things, your measuring, your flours, your sugars, like know where everything's at. Understand the recipe before you even start. Then you won't have that. But I was a newbie back then, and it was, it was just chaos. Anyway, but I think my dad would be proud of me. And I think, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to edit this and continue to do all the things I got to do on my day off. Working on my day off. What's a day off? I don't know what that is. Every day blends in with the other day and the next day. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. All right. Bye.